folks, welcome to a new video. I hope you're all keeping well. So what's the nut job doing today? Well, I'm not doing a massive mileage. In fact, I'm doing the complete opposite. So you catch me down here on the banks of the River Severn, looking across towards Minsterworth, and the hill over there with the clump of trees on. I hope you can see is May Hill. And that's the direction I'm heading actually. That over there is the Forest of Dean. And yeah, I'm going over there today. You might guess by the title of the video, but I'm actually I've booked a pitch in a campsite. So I know normally I do stealth camping and stuff, but I've recently bought a Alpkit soloist tent, one-person tent, and I thought it would be quite good to try it out in a like a controlled environment, if you know what I mean. So I've got a camp pitch, a campsite pitch, if I could talk, near Newlands. I think it's Cherry Orchard campsite, something like that. And yeah, so I've got a pitch booked there tonight, and I'm going to put the tent up for the first time. And I thought that was a bit better than you know, on a full-on ride in the semi-dark, in the rain, putting the tent up for the first time, because our garden's too small for doing that. So thought this is the best option. So I'm gonna head off up towards Gloucester, and then come across and into the Forest of Dean. It did rain earlier, and it's I think we might get a couple of showers, so I think this afternoon's going to be alright. So yeah, so I'm on the gravel bike today. A little bit packed up more than I would do normally, because I'm just trying out a few bits and pieces. I've got a gas stove, which I know works fine, and I've got a meth stove as well, a Trangia, sort of Chinese copy type job, which I got off eBay. So I'm going to try that as well. Well, I've used one before, I've had one before to be honest, and I've lost it, so I kind of know what's what. Yeah, I've got sleeping bag with me this time, which I didn't take with on the King Alfred's Way national pastime, just aimlessly driving around. Anyway, stop being a grumpy git, Richard. Yeah, so I've got my tar. I'm going to use that as like a ground sheet at the front of the tent, so I don't get too wet, because as I said, it's rain, so the grass is going to be wet probably. Yeah, let's crack on. We're going to stop. I'm not God. So it's 40 miles today, and I got 40 miles tomorrow. So it's not even midday yet, so I've got plenty of time. I'm not going to rush. I'm even going to stop for a coffee and maybe something to eat in Gloucester, and then make my way down to Colford and then to the campsite. And as I said, tomorrow, got another 40 miles tomorrow, and that's just basically down into Chepstow, across the old Severn Bridge, the original Severn Bridge, the Mark I Severn Bridge, whatever you want to call it, and then back up through the lanes, back home. So that's another 40 miles a day. So over the weekend, I'm only going to do 80 miles, 120k. I'm just going to enjoy it. You know, the autumn colours are now coming out, so hopefully once I get over into the forest, it will be quite nice. Anyway, let's crack on. Gloucester Cathedral. And for those that don't know, what Gloucester Cathedral is famous for is being Hogwarts in the Harry Potter films, or the inside of it. So I'll put some video here of some video I took yesterday. Here in the Fairview Gardener and Tea Room for my lunch. Oh, it's absolutely spot on. It's got chili con carne, the best I've had in a while. Yeah, on the A40 out of Gloucester towards Ross-on-Wye. Yeah, the few miles of the A40 I had to do was not particularly pleasant, but yeah, this more than made up for it. Never been in there before. Anyway, yeah, we're kind of in the Forest of Dean area now. So we're on the edge, northern edge of it, and yeah, we're just done a bit of a U shape, if you like. So from home, kind of heading north west ish, and lovely tailwind, and got to Gloucester, and I'm now going back the other way, but on the other side of the Severn, and yeah, it's a nice headwind now. For those that know the area, just been through Northwood Green, and the Forest of Dean is now surrounding me. So it's going to be a bit of climbing in a minute, but that should mean that the wind howling up the Severn estuary should be a bit more sheltered. And you see, the sun's back out. So I'm just climbing up into Little Dean, and had a bit of an embarrassing moment just now. I rode into the bank on the side of the road. Let's just have a rather an abrupt stop. Luckily I was going uphill. You've got Little Dean Jail there, and it's a bit of a museum, and I've never actually been in there. So it's definitely on the to-do one-day list, you know. Anyway, yeah, we're gaining quite a lot of altitude now. absolutely. And just coming along this lane here. So when I spoke to you last in Littledean, I went up a few hundred yards, bared left, and then down this like bridleway. And I've come out on this lane, and I've seen more Mark II escorts along here than I have for years. Anyway, there's like a rally on, as in like Colin McRae type stuff. Oh, there you go. That's a Subaru though. But, so yeah, they're coming past the other way, all bedecked in long mud flaps and roll cages and stickers and numbers. And as you're coming through these trees, you can kind of hear them on the other side of the valley there. You can't see it from here, but there's a lake down there, and they're on the hill the other side of the lake. And yeah, you can hear the engines echoing through the trees. Anyway, let's just drop down here, and then I think I've got another long climb. Oh. I'm off route a little bit, kind of deliberate, because I needed to avoid the car rally, and so I came into Rusbridge, around the back of Cinderford, climbed up the hill to the Dilk Hospital, and I'm now on the family cycle trail. No more traffic because it was a bit ridiculous back there. Okay. So yeah, so I'm now on this trail. We brought the kids around here when they were little, so you know, it's nothing too technical, if you know what I mean. Just gets away from the traffic, and it's heading in the general right direction as well. Ooh, hang on. Actually, the last few times I've come along here, it's been in the opposite direction. So it's slightly uphill, and this way it's slightly down. It's basically a 10-mile loop. Well, I now know it's the Wyding Rally. The trail was actually taped off back there because the rally went across it, but I know there are some people there and a cyclist from Forest Dean Cycling Club, and I said, you know, I'm alright to go across, and they went, yeah, but they'll be here in a minute. And then I heard something with a bit of a klaxon on it go through, so obviously I timed that just right. Anyway, I'm down here about half a mile now. Oh, some people on segways. Yeah, all-terrain segways. I wondered what was coming down when I looked back. Alright, that looks really fun actually. So I think the guy on the front was like a guide. Wow, that looks really good. There we go, Central Bridge, altitude 138 metres. This is Mallard's Pike Lake, the Forestry Commission place. And it has a few facilities, like toilets and a cafe. Not stopping here for coffee. I've still got that chili con carne inside me. But, last time I came here was during yeah, so as I was saying, the last time I went there was in one of those partial lockdowns, and I had a picnic. Cafe was shut, nobody about. Complete opposite as today. Anyway, this road is actually closed behind me for the rally, so there's very little traffic coming the other way. I'm now on a track called the Colford Link, and it's clearly an old railway line. I wasn't sure whether it's just a footpath or not, but I came onto it. There was a guy who's just in front on a mountain bike, so I'm okay. Yeah, so I'm just climbing up to Colford now. Not far from the campsite, to be honest. Got a lot of time to kill. The Dean Valley, Dean Rally, I'm calling it Valley, really did put a spanner in the works with regards to my route, but still, I freestyled it, go me, and I still ended up, I think I was coming up here anyway. To Colford cycle track. Again, another disused railway line. Again, new miles. Not been up here before. Anyway, back there, it was saying 1.5 kilometres to Colford, and it must be about the same again, the campsite. So I'm gonna stop in Colford just to get some snacks and goodies for later, and that was a rather loud football match, if you were wondering. Been climbing for quite a while, you know, just not steep, well, as you'd expect a gradient to be on an old railway line. As you can see, it's quite nice. So yeah, now we're in Colford. I'm just going to go and find a supermarket, get some goodies and snacks for later, as I said back there, and mooch off down to the campsite, which is about 1.5 kilometres, maybe 2 kilometres away from here. Not far. The time is 3:45, so loads of time. Well, near enough there now. Look at that for a view. Could just see the sugar loaf just as I was coming along the lane here. Monmouth is just over that hill. It's about 3-4 miles away, and I've got some friends here. How you doing? You alright? Yeah, so I'm just going to drop down into the campsite, which is just over there. And this is my route tomorrow. But here we are on the campsite. A few others here as well. A few other villagers that are doing it this time of year. But yeah, it's perfect because I can do this stuff in a controlled environment now, so that's good. Anyway, I better go and let them know I'm here. Pay up and that kind of thing. I'll speak to you in a bit. Well, it's up. Took me about 20 minutes. That's not bad for the first time. I hadn't even taken it out of the bag. So I'm quite happy with that. That bodes well for the future. I can probably knock 5 minutes off of that, if not more. But yeah, so there we are. Did start to spit when I was doing it, but didn't come to too much. I'm going to put the tarp out around the front here, so I don't have damp grass. I think we'll be good. Well, folks, I'll settle down. I'm just boiling up some water in my titanium mug because some muppet never washed it out after the King Alfred's Way trip, so it's a bit minging. So I'm just going to boil it up and clean it out. I'm quite lucky in that there's some water taps around, so I've kind of got an endless supply of water. I probably would have just risked it if you know, if it was a wild camp, but no, we're all good, we're all in, so yeah, I'm just going to relax for a bit now. Well, I'm just sat here finishing off my beer and actually saw a shooting star. It's got a quarter out the corner of my eye, and I'm like, and no, it was a proper one. You know, you could, it wasn't like, did I just see that? It was definitely shooting across the sky, you know, and burning out. You know, it was quite good. Good morning. Well, that was a good night's sleep. I was in bed by 9 o'clock, and I was asleep not long after, actually. Yeah, so I was woken up about 11ish with a shower. That lasted probably 10-15 minutes, and then I fell asleep again. Woke up about 1ish for needing a wee, so I got out of the tent. And the sky was completely clear then, and you know, it really was a carpet of stars, you know. So that was incredible, actually. You know, you're out in the middle of nowhere and you see the stars like that. It reminds me of when I went to Morocco, out in the desert. You know, you could just see so many more stars. So it was incredible. So yeah, it's been a good night's sleep. Downside was that my pillows died. I was complaining about the valve. It was actually the rim round the valve was leaking, so the valve itself didn't fail. It's the actual sort of lamination, I suppose you'd call it. a new one of those required. I think I'm going to need a better sleeping bag for doing this year round. We'll see. Yeah, you can see the sun's coming up now. There's a hill behind, so it's taken a little while to come up over the hill. So that's good. So peaceful. Me packed up. I'm just about to go now. Been a good experience. Just dropped down to the River Wye, so we're now in the Wye Valley. And this is Biggs Weir Bridge. This guy fly fishing down there. Holy moly. I could barely walk up that. Mainly because of the grip, you know. There was acorns all over the floor, leaves, and it's wet. Reminded me of that lane in the Dartmoor Devil. That's the same, like really steep like that. But the biggest challenge is grip. Just to get up it, you know. Anyway, I'm up on the top now. This to my right is Cledden or Cleden Bog. And it's a nature reserve. What a beautiful climb that was. Up through the trees, sweeping corners. Not too steep, not too much traffic. And I've never been up there before, I don't think. Wow, I'm going to have a look at that. See what that's called when I get back. Anyway, off down this way. It's been very scenic this morning. Really enjoyed it. Mouth of the River Wye, out into the Severn estuary there. Tide's going out actually, see the flow. Of course, I suppose the Wye isn't as tidal as the Severn, so I might be talking complete rot there really. Anyway. bridge, as you saw, up through Salisbury, and then stopped for a cider in the Salutation, just outside Barclay there. And I did a video wrap up there. I wasn't really happy with it, so this is my second attempt at it. But no, it's been a good couple of days. I'm about 6 miles from home, and yeah, I've really enjoyed myself. You could say it's a bit pointless really, but you know, I've tried out the tent, tried out a few other bits and pieces, and yeah, it was worthwhile really. So I think this bagman support, I'm overloading it. The poor thing's sagging quite a lot, so I think I'm going to have a better solution. Should have to have a think on that. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this one. It's been swell, sweetheart. I'll see you on the next one.